stream with Zen. For the next 2 hours, maybe more, join Zen for some stimulating analysis on New Age woo. Bring your questions. Prepare your comments for a live stream with Zen. For the next 2 hours, maybe more, join Zen for some stimulating analysis on New Age woo.
I have no idea.
Bring your questions. Prepare your comments for a live stream with Zen. For the next 2 hours.
Blink, blink. Well, there you go. What a wonderful beginning. I don't know how that happens. Sometimes it's just goofy how that happens. Sometimes I get started and I'm like, did I forget something? I got something off? Anyway, there you go. Hello, everybody. Before I get started, I just want to quickly add this to the meter. Zen's opinions may or may not accurately or factually present the subjects, topics, persons presented in this commentaries. It's up to you to do your due diligence in evaluating the teacher sources that Zen critiques and make up your own mind. I want to clarify that. For some people, you know, they see my critical views. They're pretty harsh. They're pretty hard. And, you know, I've always been one to separate my opinions from you know, from other people's opinions that may differ, and the things that I say and talk about, you know, I have to say, hey, you know, I'm very sure about what I talk about. I'm very clear what I talk about, but I also have to leave it open. You know what I mean? So, anyway, I just wanted to make that clear. That's a new thing I'm doing now. And, today's video, this is a really, really big deal. And I was talking about this on the last live stream. And I thought I just really felt like I wanted to emphasize this more and more and more and more, especially because the most popular movie out right now is The Cosmic Secret. Okay. And it's all about the end of the world. And I want to make sure that people are well armed with the facts around these end of the world teachings across the board from all sources in this area, in this field of the New Age. So we're going to run through that, take a look, and we're going to look at suicides. Now, I want to clarify something. In no way am I suggesting anybody from the disclosure community wants anyone to kill themselves, okay? What I want to clarify is that the teachings are reckless and they're dangerous, and that in the past, people have committed suicide because of teachings like this. And, you know, again, you never know what you're dealing with when you're telling people the damn world's going to end. You know what I mean? And you think you got an out because you're calling it ascension, and it's fluffed up, and it's all in this fantasy realm. But if people could actually see what it is that they're pointing to, if you literally looked at what Corey Goode, David Wilcock, Jordan Sather, and the rest of them are pointing to in this movie about the end of the world, if you could see it, there would be billions of people wiped out. It would be a mass natural disaster slaughter. There would be bodies floating in the oceans, in lakes, in rivers. I mean, it's an utter horror when you really break it down and take a hard look at it. I mean, it's nice when you're, you know, sitting in your comfortable bedroom or living room watching Corey Goode and the rest of them talk about, you know, the sun flares and, you know, this giant cosmic wave and, you know, I'm talking about pole shifts and all this stuff. It seems safe, you know. Then you got this ascension. It's all vague. It's all vague. But take a close look at it. These are death teachings. They're death teachings. Do you think there's one scientist that's going to say something like that? You know, you think they're going to say that? And you think that if there was a real threat to our world, that all of the scientists in the world are going to be able to keep a secret? No, I don't think so at all. So Corey Goode, David Wilcock, Jordan Sather, and the rest of them, Michael Salla, which I'm going to show you, they're all peddling this end of the world scenario coupled with ascension. And I'm telling you, it is utter BS, in my opinion. It's not going to happen, folks. Okay, it's not going to happen. But people believe that this is going to happen. And it puts fear in people and it puts them on a treadmill. And I think it is dangerous to teach. It's nothing new. It's the same thing every cult has taught throughout the millennia, which I'm going to show you in this video. We're going to get right into it. You're going to see it. Same thing. And for those of you who are listening to this stuff, I'm telling you, it ain't happening. It's the same crap. Bad stuff happens all the time. Okay. We have tsunamis, we have earthquakes, we have fires. This is just nothing new. So anybody that's using these stories to try to manipulate you and thinking that their repackaged Armageddon is somehow true, think again. It's BS. And you know, when year 2000, the Y2K thing didn't work, then it was 2012, and the 2012 thing didn't work, then it was something else and something else and something else. And then just rewind back to, you know, the past century and the century before that and the century before that. It's the same thing. And so people just keep on believing in this crap that all this shit's going to come down, everything's going to happen. When nothing happens, they double down on their belief system because humans hate to be wrong. Hey, Jonaside, what's up? And Gerald M. Yates, good to see you. I'm going to have my seltzer water with lime drink as we enter into this adventure on exposing this crap. Teachings of death, folks. It's all centered around death. All the religions and all spirituality, all centered around death. That's where they spend so much time. Spend so much time talking about the afterlife, souls, and invisible people. They think it's about life. It's not. You know what? When it is about life is when you're living your life. It's when you're honoring and respecting and loving the natural world. It's when you're growing a garden. It's when you're honoring and feel your whole body, your whole organism is sacred. The sun is sacred. The universe is sacred. That's living life, not dissociating into another world. Nothing like a good old lime. Squeeze a lime in there. Oh no, what's going on here? All right. Mustache, stop. Jobert the Dude is in the house. And of course, Out of Mine is in the house. Lee Veltman is in the comment thread. And Inspector Opus is on the comment thread. We've got Dreamweaver in the house. We've got Chase McCammon is in the house. Mark Robertson, boom. And we got Maro Heat. And we've got TC. Hello, TC. Welcome to the show. Yeah, Nibiru, another fake, totally fake fantasy that's peddled. So okay. So the first thing I want to show everybody is I want to show you this video that came out by Corey Good and the rest of them. And I want to point out some things, and then we're going to dive right into this. This is I've got so much to go over. This is going to be like, it's going to be smoking. Okay. And by the time I'm done with this, I mean, I doubt there's any possible way that you're going to look at the rest of this game the same thing. You know, Corey Good, David Wilcock, and all of them doing this, you know, the QAnon thing. Also, I'm gonna tell you some stuff about QAnon. Some of you have heard it, but we'll get into it more. You know, okay, they were peddling their woo. I already knew it. Woo, 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 whatever. Same crap. You know, everybody's laughing at them. But when this recent video came out, The Cosmic Secret, which I exposed in a 6-part series, and they were peddling the whole end of the world thing. I was like, oh man, really? You had to pull that one out of your toolbox? Come on. Many people have committed suicide because of this kind of stuff. Okay. Again, I'm not saying that David Wilcock, Corey Good want people to commit suicide. I'm just saying these teachings have caused, across the board, Armageddon teachings have caused people to sell their homes, to sell their things, to do crazy things, to commit suicide. I mean, just a lot of stuff. And it's not good because they're freaking lies, folks. They're lies. So let's take a look really quick at this video. This is called The Video the Internet Might Not Want You to See, okay, by Corey Good and Jordan Sather.
The CIA document, Adam and Eve. We're going to break it down with Corey Good.
So this Adam and Eve document was produced. It happened to have been published on through the CIA website. Okay, it's just a document that's been poo-poo. It's nothing. I did a whole thing on the Adam and Eve document. It came out. Drumville used it. A couple other people used it. And you know what? You can go on Amazon and buy the darn book. There's nothing about it. No, this isn't being used in any way, shape, or form to be somehow, we had Project Blue Book and many other things in the government. Okay, this stuff we had remote viewing. It just got dropped. Okay, it meant nothing. Okay, so when this came out, it's like everybody jumped on and said, "Ooh, it's a CIA, blah blah blah." No, you can go on Amazon and read the darn thing, and you don't see anybody freaking out over it. It was just again, I did a whole thing on it. Well, I forget everything was behind it. But anyway, the whole thing got disregarded. Okay, so here they are pulling the damn thing up and talking about this. And again, this is resurrected stuff that most of us have been in this a long time. Was in the 1990s. It's just old hat. But, we have a new wave of people in this, the millennials and the boomers.
Along with Dr. Michael Salla, including Jordan Sather, from Destroying the Illusion. It's happened in the past and it will happen again. Corey Good's going to tell us about the secret space program.
Yeah, right.
Along with Dr. Michael Salla's insight. Is there a secret that we need to be told? Enjoy this new investigation right now.
We had third phase of, what is it? Third phase of Moon? What did they say? I forget it. When I did a critique on him, he came on to the comment thread. He was like, "Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing this." He basically said that if I remember right, it was something of the idea that he's basic neutral reporter or something like that and presents the stories and blah, blah, blah. And as I look closer, it's like he's not neutral nothing. Here we go.
A CIA document was released not too long ago. It's called the Adam and Eve document. And in that document, it discusses that scientists had done studies of what would occur during a pole shift. And it's the worst case scenario, 700.
Now, I just really quick, I want you to notice something. Okay? Really quick. Notice where he's sitting. He's sitting in a church. And what do churches represent? You got the cross and everything back there, right? Armageddon. End of the world. This is called marketing, folks. Marketing.
Had done studies of what would occur during a pole shift, and it's the worst case scenario, 700 mile per hour winds, totally biblical proportion types of cataclysms. Well, that's not quite how scientists expect it to play out now. This was a study done in the 1960s. They knew very little about the atmosphere, how it works, how it wouldn't just fly around the planet like they postulated in the 60s. Now they know more about how the wind systems work, and it wouldn't be as bad. But that information has come out recently, and
it did not come out recently. In fact, if I remember, let me see here. What is the date? Document release date, according to the CIA, was June 24th, 2013. I can't get all into this thing, people, folks. I did a whole thing on this before, but this came out a long time ago. Anyway, moving forward.
There have been some scientific papers that I might be able to give you to link here of scientists finding signs of solar matter on the back of the moon during the Apollo missions. They were bringing back this black glass and some other material, and it turned out that it was actual material ejected from the sun. And this was also found on Mars.
So what you're saying is the moon at one time was in an opposite direction. So the dark side of the moon was facing the sun at one point?
Well, the dark side of the moon was facing the sun at the moment that it had this 360-degree mass coronal ejection, where it sent solar matter in all directions. And this occurs on a cycle every 25,000 years, 12,000 years, 4,000 years, different intensities. And it's kind of like a pulse that we're finding out that other stars have. We've noticed that Alpha Centauri.
We've noticed. Corey, you're just some guy that figured out how to get into this whole thing and profit from it. That's all you are. You've provided no evidence of anything. What? Do you even have an education? I don't even know if he has an education. What? You please bring a scientist onto your little dumb show.
A flash not too long ago, and a couple of other stars that we've been tracking have periodic.
We've been tracking
flashes, so we're finding out that these stars are releasing pressure so that they don't go supernova at some point. They're having smaller novas to release mass and pressure.
Recent CIA.
Here we go. Jordan Sather.
Right. So my understanding of
Yeah,
that.
we need to listen to Jordan Sather. Yeah. The guy, he was working at Whole Foods yesterday. He read a book like yesterday afternoon, got on YouTube, and got 100,000 subscribers before this morning.
That is simply what I've seen through Ben Davidson of Suspicious Observers. And it essentially looks like it's a book that was classified by the CIA, and it details the polar shift, the not just geomagnetic, but literal geophysical polar shift. So not only do we have the electromagnetic poles of our Earth ready to shift, but we also have, that could mean also an Earth tilt. And I believe Ben Davidson was detailing how that tilt could go 90 degrees and then back.
This is utter BS, folks. Utter BS. Okay. Do a little bit of research yourself. I'm actually going to show you here in a minute. Okay. I'm just building the case here and how all of this stuff is built up. All of this stuff is, creates this whole case, pretending like they're representing the scientific community, right? Building all up to their dumb ascension stuff. And then the next disclosure event.
Which is very intriguing. And the reason, of course, the CIA classified it is that is a massive, massive red pill, basically, that if the people knew about it, well, that would confirm a whole lot of stuff from ancient history, a lot of scripture and text that they were trying to tell us. They don't want that stuff legitimized. And
like, why is he even there? Why is Jordan Sather even there? There's only one reason I can think of. He was a cute Justin Bieber face for the millennials. That's the only thing I can think about. Did this guy graduate? I don't fucking know. The only thing we know about him is he worked at Whole Foods. Then he started to do research. Next thing you know, he's talking about history, politics, medical, giving people medical advice, and then hitchhiking on QAnon, which is an utterly debunked source and is mentioned in the recent FBI there's an article. What would you call it? The FBI have placed these conspiracy theorists, including QAnon, on a terrorist list. And guess who promotes them? David Wilcock, Corey Good, Michael Salla. I mean, it's like, man, you know, these guys are they're really skating on thin ice. You know, I honestly don't know how they can do this, how they keep doing this. It's a fascinating that they get away with any of this. With people that don't know anything. Jordan Sather? I mean, you know, I think the guy maybe should have started a blogging about some stuff he actually knows about. But all of this stuff that he's blabbering is stuff we knew back in the 1990s. So I know he got it from books. And then he's acting like an authority on this stuff. No, you're not an authority on anything other than Whole Foods, from what I can tell.
And they also, of course, don't want people to really understand what's going on with our sun and the electric universe.
That's right. All the scientists are all secretly texting each other. You know, hey, Bob, keep this quiet, okay? We don't want anybody to know. You know, and then Bob goes, but we've got 80 million other scientists that are aware of this. He goes, well, just start calling them this afternoon. We'll get through this by next, you know, by 2015, by 2025. Just keep calling them. But you got to keep this in you know, under wraps, because Jordan Sather, you know, he's exposing us. Who's Jordan Sather? He's this kid that works for Whole Foods. He read a book and he's exposing us. That's why we're calling 80 million scientists. Yeah.
Universe model. They want to prop up their standard model physics.
There
is tons of misinformation mixed in to sell their agenda with, basically.
No, the only person that's selling their agenda is you, Jordan.
You know, if people were to realize what our sun actually is, what it's going to do, they would live their lives a whole lot differently.
If people came to realize the BS that you're shoveling up, they would begin to live their life a lot differently.
And they wouldn't be trusting what's told to us by the authorities quite as much.
Why? Right. Because you know who the new authority is? You're looking at it. He replaces legitimate authorities, demonizes those authorities, and sets himself up as the authority that knows more than all the scientists in the world. In fact, it was Jordan Sather, if I remember correctly, and Above Majestic, that said that all the books in the world are wrong. Watch it yourself. He said all books in the world are misinformation. So when you see me joking about, you know, saying Jordan Sather worked at Whole Foods, read a couple books, and put his Justin Bieber face on YouTube, and all the girls liked him, and he got 100,000 views, I'm being accurate in my criticism of this guy. All you have to do is listen to him talk. That's all you have to do is listen to him talk.
What we're seeing with the possibility of
here we go
of a pole shift is that, first of all,
anyway, so Michael Sala's in on it. Okay, so basically you guys get the idea. The whole damn thing, and I'll leave it there, the whole damn thing is about that. Okay, now real quick, let me just pop over to this and let me just show you just a couple sources. Look, there's plenty of them. This is just a couple. You don't even have to do it. You know what? You could go to sleep after watching these movies. You could literally go to sleep and do research like while you're sleeping and figure this stuff out. I mean, here's just one source from space.com. This is just one. Apocalypse Not Now, 2012 Doomsday Predictions Debunked by NASA. Ooh, it's a conspiracy. You know why? Because those few people that worked at Whole Foods know more than everybody in NASA. On December 21st, 2012, many doomsday believers fear the apocalypse. And, you know, of course, this is a dated, but it applies. From a rogue planet smashing into us to our world spinning and over. Okay, talking about the pole shift, right? And also you've got the Mayan calendar. Same damn thing, which we'll get into. According to the ancient Mayan calendar, next year's winter solstice marks the end of a 144,000-day cycle. This cycle, which begins at the mythical Maya creation date, has already been repeated 12 times. The 13th will end in 2012, capping a full 5,200-year Mayan Cycle of creation. Yeah, the Mayans who cut people's heads off, the horrible, horrible, horrible Mayans and Aztecs. Yeah, that's right. All the New Agers always seem to be referring to hellish civilizations in the past. Egypt, the Mayans, the Druids. I'm fond of the Druids. There was also human sacrifice. That doesn't taint the good things in the sacred teachings as well around that. Atlantis was an oligarchy, a dictatorship. It was a horror of a place that is nothing close to what the New Age would think it is. Anyway, rogue planet Nibiru. Nibiru is ridiculous because it doesn't even exist. It never existed as any other than a figment of the imagination by pseudoscientists who don't seem bothered by a complete lack of evidence. There's one. Cosmic alignments. Let me see. There are also concerns that the planets or stars might line up in ways that will transform Earth. For instance, some theorists claim that from our point of view, the sun will cross in front of the plane of our galaxy on December 21st. However, the sun already does this twice a year. However, the sun is about 67 light years from the galactic plane, so it should take several million years to do so. Even then, when our solar system finally does cross the plane, nothing special will occur. Okay, this is coming from real scientists. Flip-flopping Earth. There is some alarm that 2012 could see the flipping of Earth's poles, either the planet's geographical poles, which mark the Earth's axis of rotation, or its magnetic poles, which our compass is pointing towards. Okay. But there is no reason to fear such an occurrence, scientists said, because the moon stabilizes our planet's spin. The planet's magnetic poles do flip, but over periods of about 500,000 years and not suddenly, but over thousands of years with no evidence of a flip on December 21st. Okay? That's just, I think I came up with that article when I went to sleep last night. Here's one from Scientific America. No, Earth wasn't nearly destroyed by a 2012 solar storm. So here we got that solar storm again thing that they're peddling. Yes, a large blob of plasma and magnetic fields from the sun did just miss us 2 years ago, as news organizations have feverishly reported over the past few days. Following a NASA press release at the time, scientists were hugely relieved it flew by the Earth and missed us entirely. If it had hit, the coronal mass ejection would have decimated power grids on the ground and sizzled satellite electronics in space, causing widespread communications and electricity blackouts. It would not, however, have destroyed the entire planet. Solar storms are a real threat, however, and we might not be lucky enough to dodge the next one. Now, in The Cosmic Secret by Corey Goode and David Wilcock, they paint an entirely different story. They compare the solar storm to the Bible's, fire and brimstone falling from the skies. Now, I'm going to show you, stay tuned, how dangerous these end of the world Armageddon teachings are. They cause people to commit suicide. They cause people mental problems. I mean, recently, maybe I should have looked this up on this whole global warming thing. There's a whole thing about people suffering anxiety from climate change. I'll show you right now. And this isn't a light thing, folks. These people are peddling this. And there's a lot of people out there that are really scared, and they're on this treadmill of ascension. And they're wasting their life on a complete fantasy. It's called eco-anxiety. The harm from worrying about climate change. Worry about climate change is affecting more people as global warming. Let me just show you guys right here. As global warming becomes more apparent around the world, but there is a solution that can help improve this anxiety and slow climate breakdown at the same time. I mean, that's just one article. Look at this. Climate anxiety doesn't have to ruin your life. Do you see how they're presenting something that's supposed to be like good for you and all this stuff? All of this is ruining your life, folks. For those of you who are followers in this stuff, in my opinion, it's ruining your life. They're giving you fake poisonous candy. They're giving you tainted crap, and you're paying for it. Anyway, okay. So let me just move on to other stuff. I have a lot to show you, so we're gonna jam real quickly through it. Now, let me just show you really quick here. This is an intelligence bulletin by the FBI. Okay. Out of the FBI Phoenix field office, May 30th, 2019. Now watch this. This is the actual article, the actual thing. Hold on. QAnon's in here somewhere. Sorry, I didn't cue this correctly. But it's in here. I have another thing that I can show you. Come. Oh, here we go. QAnon conspiracy, right smack dab here. You see that? A Nevada man used an armored truck to block traffic on the Hoover Dam bypass bridge, held up signs conveying a political demand, then fled into Arizona, where he was arrested by Arizona Department of Public Safety, who found body armor, rifles, ammunition, and flashbang device inside his vehicle, according to law enforcement information. According to a technical source with direct access, the man referenced the QAnon conspiracy. Okay? The QAnon conspiracy. Guess who's peddling the QAnon conspiracy? Guess who are the main proponents of the QAnon conspiracy? David Wilcock, Corey Good, Jordan Sather, Michael Salla. Let me just show you something. Listen to Jordan Sather. Listen to him talk about him.
The FBI now actually considers fringe conspiracy theories as a domestic terrorist threat. We have some interesting tweets to show you. I just want you to see how people who believe this, Twitter user Travis View found this about
invented the view.
The QAnon community. Let's look at some of these photos of these tweets we have. There you go. Here we go.
Jordan Sather.
FBI for the first time has identified a fringe yeah, so here we go. And then it's just a dismissive attitude.
First, Yahoo News published their quote exclusive story about this FBI memo that they somehow obtained. Doesn't say how they obtained it, doesn't say who they obtained it by, but nevertheless, this intelligence.
Do you see how it's like, who the hell are you, Jordan Sather, to talk from any level of authority? Because you got a little YouTube channel and you've been promoted by, two idiots called Corey and Good have gotten away with bamboozling people. Who are you to comment on anything?
Bulletin was written by the Phoenix field office of the FBI, and it was dated May 30th, 2019, dated from 2 months ago. Those are some important details as we proceed. I covered this in my last video, but also important here. Now, I want to get into, basically, I just want to show you guys my Twitter thread here. Some digs that I did on this. I'll link this thread down below. And, you know, I'm not too concerned about what the fake news is going to say about this particular document, because that's all just going to be the same rhetoric, repeated narratives. We're going to hear about it. Let's take a look at this actual document.
So not only does he poo-poo the entire scientific community, but he poo-poos the FBI. And he's a box boy. He was a box boy at Whole Foods and read a David Icke book.
Itself.
And he's got a massive following.
Right, because some very particular things stand out about this document. And then I want to talk to you guys. I want to show you some information about who was actually in charge of that Phoenix field office when this document was written. So there's some very interesting deets on that. So first of all...
Oh, yeah, and we should be listening to you about this, Mr. QAnon supporter. Anyway, this is the video, 8chan seeks new home following El Paso shooting. Listen to it for yourself. Make up your own mind. But this FBI document warrants conspiracy theories are a new domestic terrorism threat. And listen, you don't even need this document to figure that one out. All you have to do is look at the history of all Armageddon stories and look at what's happened around these stories. That's all you have to do. It makes people crazy. What do you think? What do you think they're going to do when the world's ending? Unstable people are going to go nuts. Do you think David Wilcock, Corey Good, and any of these bozos give a shit about that? No, they saying, oh, we're all about love and we're all about, ascension and stuff. Really? And you don't care. You have done no research on how these stories affect human beings. You're just, doesn't matter to you. Of course it doesn't matter to you. Because we know why you're doing this. Now, I showed this before the other day. Hold on. But I want to show it again. I'm going to go through a lot of stuff, so if you've seen some of this stuff, I'll be really fast about it. Okay, you guys saw this the other day. But this is a QAnon believer, all right, who went bananas in Sedona and started vandalizing the Catholic Church.
Tonight's other big story, a man caught on camera vandalizing one of Arizona's most iconic religious landmarks. Tourists catching him smashing candles and bludgeoning parts of the altar at Sedona's world-famous Chapel of the Holy Cross.
That video helping Sedona police arrest the man earlier today. Team 12's Ryan Cody joins us live with a possible motive as the congregation tries to pick up the pieces, Ryan.
Yeah, definitely a bold move to do something like this in broad daylight at an Arizona icon with dozens of tourists standing right there. But Timothy Larson's ex-wife saying she is not surprised at all. Timothy Larson taking a crowbar to the altar, then smashing a window and spray painting the word evil at the entrance to the Chapel of the Holy Cross in Sedona.
Isn't this nice? This is what you get when you start getting into QAnon, right? Isn't it nice? People are promoting QAnon. Not only is it mentioned in the FBI bulletin, but then we got some guy going crazy with the QAnon thing. I'm going to show you a bunch of stuff today, okay? And so it's just perfectly fine that, and I'll show you all the stuff that Wilcock has promoted and Corey Good continue to promote and say
to him it made perfect logical sense in his mind.
Catherine Larson is this man's ex-wife. She lives in Las Vegas, and things like this are the reason they're no longer together.
Stranger and stranger occurrences until it was too much for my family to handle.
He took the crowbar and just really hit the tabernacle.
But Larson's ex-wife says this is so much deeper than destruction.
He believed variously that he was the reincarnation of Jesus.
Saying he's a big believer in conspiracy theories, including the idea Catholicism is linked to human trafficking.
Catholic Church supports human trafficking. Listen to me.
Then leaving his personalized cards at the chapel, revealing a connection to QAnon.
Which was a phenomenon that occurred in 2017 that promoted conspiracy theories.
Carlos Galindo Olvera at the Anti-Defamation League says it doesn't matter why Larson did this, it's appalling to see it a place of worship.
Okay, so there's that. Okay, see how it makes people crazy? And now, if you go to, let me see here. Here's one. QAnon, and this is from Vice. QAnon and UFO conspiracies are merging. QAnon conspiracy theorists think UFO believers are easy marks, and in the absence of new Q posts, some of its followers have turned to UFOs. One of the most harmful conspiracy theory communities is grafting into one of the oldest conspiracy theory communities, and disinformation experts are starting to get worried. QAnon, the often unintelligible conspiracy theory, that, by the way, has been utterly wrong all the way through. And David Wilcock and Corey Gitt have been peddling this for years. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they keep saying this is going to happen and it doesn't happen. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter. None of their followers, hundreds of thousands of followers all over the place following these guys. It does not matter that none of these have come true. QAnon, the often intelligible conspiracy theory that our government is run by the deep state. Not to say that there isn't a deep state. That doesn't mean it equals the other stuff that they're saying. Especially when all these damn prophecies have gotten right. This is what these people do. How do you make a conspiracy theory? You take a few nuggets out of reality and then you use it. And dumb people can't figure it out. That there is a whistleblower within the government pseudonymously known as Q is trying to protect us from it, is beginning to find an audience among UFO hunters and people who believe the government is hiding aliens. So do you see how that works? There's a lot more money in it. If it doesn't work one way, you go another direction. All about the money, folks. Earlier, as Q followers wait for more cryptic notes from their enigmatic forum poster, it seems that many have turned to the UFO narrative for their conspiratorial fix. A-Chan, the image board where the anonymous handle Q post. Simultaneous opportunists on the UFO side of things have tapped into the QAnon conspiracy to grow their follower counts. What has occurred, especially in the last 12 months, is the rise of new politically laden conspiracies, blah, 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 that bridges the gap between Trump's election, UFOs, and the deep state and aliens. You know who they're talking about? They're talking about the disclosure community. Earlier this month, popular conspiracy YouTuber Jordan Sather referenced two specific Q posts. This is confirming that information about UFOs and cosmic life is known at the highest levels by Q and Trump, and that this group is working to disclose these things. Here we go. His Twitter. Right? QAnon's ideological mythos does not naturally contain significant references to UFOs. It has predominantly focused on a political and anti-government paradigm. However, that has not stopped some from peddling Q to the UFO community. Even they admit that Q is not talking about UFOs. Doesn't matter. People like Sather, who has nearly 200 YouTube subscribers, 200,000 YouTube subscribers, and like Alex Jones sells miracle vitamin products on his website, has recently taken to promoting a complex and confusing UFO cover-up involving a secret space program and that most UFOs are advanced human technology being created to fight the cabal, otherwise known as the deep state, and that punk rocker turned UFO mogul Tom DeLonge is their puppet. Sather told Motherboard he believes Q is an avenue to increase public awareness about the information and connections that these powers that be have been trying to hide from us. Anyway, same crap. Same crap. Disinformation experts say that the intersection of conspiracy theories is common and can be particularly dangerous. Again, all you have to do is think about it. You know, it doesn't take much. You could accidentally think about this and figure that one out. Anytime you're threatening somebody with the end of their existence, what the fuck do you think they're going to do? Sather is just one voice of many individuals who all believe in similar narratives. Many self-proclaimed UFO experts are trying to tap into the QAnon market. I'm going to show you something about pedophiles here in a minute and the end of the world. Hold on one second. I mean, I guess it shouldn't be fascinating. You know, I say this all the time. I shouldn't be fascinated, but I just still continue to be fascinated. Okay. Tap into the QAnon market. A well-known character in UFO circles, Dr. Michael Salla, has often referred Q on his website. Salla, a frequent face on the UFO conference circuit, has suggested Trump has sent coded messages regarding both Q and UFOs. I mean, it just goes on and on. And yet, QAnon prophecies have been utterly failed to come through. And you know, this is an article. Take a look at it yourself. This is by the Daily Dot. Here is every QAnon prediction that's failed to come true. Okay, and this goes on and on. They call them drops. Drop number 1, drop 16, drop 38, drop 32, drop 65, 67, 326, 647, 700. You could go on and on and on and on and on and on. They're all bogus. I mean, folks, this just goes to show you that you can sell ice to Eskimos. Jordan has 200,000 subscribers. He's got 205,000 subscribers. I mean, you could literally take a homeless person off the street, dress him up, and just carry a camera around with you and add music behind it.
So I dove deep into the rabbit hole to talk to 4 prominent QAnon researchers, including one who has 140,000
guys, for lack of a better term.
Do we all agree on this? This exists.
Anyway, so here we go. Just fascinating. They just don't see what they're doing and how the effects. But let me just show you. Okay, so I'm going to show you real quick. This is on Divine Cosmos. This is David Wilcock. Okay, here's one of his articles. It's called Deckless. Okay, Deckless is, let me see here if I got this correct. It's connected to Q. Oh, no, Deckless, I think, is the secret briefings. Our latest briefings indicate there is a hard deadline of mid-September 2019 for what they're calling Deckless. By then, a huge wealth of world-changing intel should have been released. So apparently, Deckless is the name for all these major documents that are supposed to be released. Now, this was produced June 25th, 2019. I think I did a whole article on, I think I did a whole video on this, but anyway, we've got Declan, social media nukes an entire generation, but why? So he goes on throughout this whole thing, and it doesn't take you long before you'll find QAnon. Okay, you'll find QAnon right in this article, and it's all the way through this article. Okay, then you've got another one from David Wilcock. This one was produced in September 8, 2018, saying stunning new briefings, spy satellites down, deep state arrests finally imminent. 2018, they're imminent. It's just like, you know, the Christian church was always saying the imminent return of Jesus Christ, the imminent return keeps everybody on the treadmill. Once again, you've got insider sources, you've got QAnon, same crap. QAnon has now indicated that these cases will be prosecuted by military tribunals and court martials, not civilian courts. This is a number, let me see. Here's another one. Decklist, disclosure, David's #1 new Ascension film incoming. Oh yeah, let's market that. So again, Decklist, everything imminent that's happening, QAnon, on and on and on and on and on and on. Go again. Let's go to the next article by Dave Wilcock, 2017, Moment of Truth. QAnon discloses secret space program. On Wednesday, September 19, 2018, the mysterious QAnon revealed that we are not alone in the universe and that we do indeed have a secret space program. This is arguably the single most exciting development we've had in the entire time we've been doing this research, which has been full-time since February 1993. QAnon is the only officially sanctioned voice of the Alliance today. What about David? What about Corey Good? A high-level group diligently working to create mass arrests of the cabal and disclosure. Q has since gone silent for 17 days as of October 9th, 2018, suggesting that something big is in the works. You see what I'm saying? Something big is coming. Something eminent is coming. This is just basic mind control techniques, folks. That's all that is, and they work. A letter was posted that day apologizing for the delays. So again, that's just 4 articles from David Wilcock, and then we just saw a short video on Jordan Sather. And then, of course, you've got Mr. Corey Good, David Wilcock's partner in crime. Yeah, here we go. This is from the New Yorker. Right here. Okay. What's new about conspiracy theories? And then you've got on the morning of December 4th, 2016, Edgar Madison Welch, a warehouse worker and a father of 2 from Salisbury, North Carolina, told his family that he had a few things to do. Loaded an AR-15, a .38 caliber revolver, and a folding knife into his car and headed for Washington, D.C. Welch's intention, he later told police, was to self-investigate a plot featuring, in no particular order, Hillary Clinton, sex trafficking, satanic rituals, and pizza. Of course, they got the whole Pizzagate thing. When he arrived at Comet Ping Pong, a restaurant in Chevy Chase, where he believed children were being held in a network of tunnels, this isn't saying, just because you say this, it doesn't mean that child sex trafficking isn't going, or that even satanic rituals don't happen. You know who's been doing satanic rituals forever? The Mayans, the Aztecs. Christianity is based on human sacrifice. The whole thing is a ritual. He made his way to the kitchen, shot open a locked door, and discovered cooking utensils. In an interview from jail a few days later, he acknowledged to the Times the intel on this wasn't 100%. He found no captive children in the restaurant's basement, as many accounts of the incident noted. So you can go through this whole thing. Okay, here we go. Some 10 months after the incident at Comic Ping Pong, a prediction surfaced on the web by guess who that Clinton would soon be arrested. Okay. Expect massive riots organized in defiance. Another failed thing. Q warned on the message board 4chan. Other prophecies followed. Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta, would also be arrested. Members of the media would be jailed as a deep cover-up. Blah, blah, blah. As Q's prophecies failed, more converts were won over. As Q's prophecies failed, more converts were won over. QAnon, as you know, if anybody gets anything out of my channel, I hope they learn out of absolute empirical evidence that human monkeys are highly susceptible to being fooled. They're not the smartest birds on the wire until they actually start operating counterintuitively, start getting an education, and start being willing to be wrong all the time. QAnon, as Q's worldview came to be known, if you prefer, anyway, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, this article goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. But listen, as you get down to the bottom of this thing, oh, look at interesting, 2 birds. So this is probably a really good article, but I got so much to cover. We got another couple videos to look at. But it mentions Corey Goode here. Watch this. Yeah, here is it here? Here we go. So this is talking about, well, I'm cutting into this, but just look at it. People who believe conspiracy theories, it turns out, often suspect others who believe such theories of being crazy or worse. At the MUFON conference just outside Las Vegas, a speaker named Corey Goode, an eminent figure in the world of ufology, describes how, as a kid, he was taken to an underground facility at Carswell Air Force Base in Texas and trained to fight aliens. It's just a load of BS. There's nothing true about that. No evidence, nothing. Later, Goode maintains he roamed around the solar system doing surveillance and recon until finally his government handlers performed age regression and sent him back home once again as a child. Another UFO researcher at the convention, Richard Dolan, tells Merlin he's worried about claims like Corey Goode's, which aren't particularly credible. Like the crowd in Lafayette Park, Dolan is concerned about plants, who he fears are out to determine the whole ufology enterprise. Okay? Corey Goode, Corey Goode, Corey Goode, Corey Goode, David Wilcock, Jordan Sather, Michael Salla, Laura Eisenhower, and the list goes on. This little group, disclosure group, that's got their whole little thing figured out. Boy, don't they have it all figured out as they go from one disclosure event to the next disclosure event. Don't they have it all figured out? Without giving a damn about how this stuff affects people. Let me just show you. Let me show you a few suicides here. Okay? Let me show you a few suicides. Here's one. This is from Sun Earth Day. 2012 hoax. By now, there probably aren't many people who haven't heard that the Mayan calendar predicts the world will come to an end through a series of global catastrophes. Gee, the internet is filled with websites supporting this thinking. In fact, a Google web search on 2012 prophecy returns over 1.5 million results. Of course, this is dated, but no different than today, 2012, 2020, you know. Now there's something truly scary. Type in 2012 suicide and you get over 3.6 million results. Type in 2012 mass suicide and you get 170,000 results. Okay. Here are some representative quotes I culled from the internet chat rooms. Quote, I already broke up with my boyfriend, cashed all my bonds and whatnot, and plan on dropping out of school at the end of the year and totally living up living it up for 2011, since that's our last year on Earth. My mom caught wind of this and has been yelling at me to stop. I'm going to do it anyway, but she did put a thought in my head about the Mayans could be wrong. Another quote. I've had 2 teenagers who were considering killing themselves because they didn't want to be around them when the world ends. 2 women in the last 2 weeks said they were contemplating killing their children. But let's just keep throwing these people money. Killing their children over these things. You see the recklessness of this? While they flaunt themselves around as some sort of the purveyors of love. I mean, it's just disgusting. It's disgusting. These people are disgusting. They could give a flying fuck who this affects in a negative way. There's nothing about telling people the world's going to end while virtue signaling about it, you're some authority on love through the law of one teachings. There's nothing virtuous about that, but quite absolutely and utterly the opposite. It's conniving, it's cunning, it's manipulative. And according to the FBI, it's illegal. They were contemplating killing their children themselves so they wouldn't have to suffer through the end of the world. That's not all. Let me just keep going on here. Then you've got 2012 Apocalypse. This is Rational Wiki. And you got right here, this nonsense stole hours of many of the world's population as it received a significant amount of mainstream media attention, usually telling people what they already knew, that the world isn't going to end. Nonetheless, the idea was taken seriously by some people. NASA said that it received many emails and letters from worried people, especially those with the weakest critical thinking skills, the young. Do you think that they give a shit about the young? No, they don't. No, they don't. You think Corey Good's smug mug gives a flying crap about how his stuff affects children? No, he doesn't. He doesn't give a shit while he stands on his throne of love like he's some sort of leader of love. You're not a leader of love. You're the opposite of that. You're a sheep in wolf's clothing is what you are. And you think nobody can see you. I'm sorry, you're a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's what you are. And you think nobody sees you. You're an idiot. Some saying that they couldn't eat, had trouble sleeping, or were suicidal. It was responsible for at least one suicide, a 16-year-old girl from the UK. Do you think Corey Good or David Wilcock give a crap about that? No, they don't. Do you think anyone's going to listen to this damn thing and call them on it? Do you think that they're, at least 1,000 of Jordan Sather's with 200,000 followers are going to come to my YouTube channel and listen to this and go confront David Wilcock? No. I doubt not more than the few people that are loyal to this channel will share this video to anyone. Let alone like it. Doesn't fucking matter. I mean, I'm telling you, people wonder why, like I say, human monkeys. I call people human monkeys. The fucking house could be on fire. And you'll have people outside, just like eating ice cream cones and just talking about the weather. It just doesn't matter. Doesn't matter that there's still this cult thinking out there, promoting the end of the world scenarios, not giving a shit how it affects children or people that are not stable. They don't care about that. Why would they care about that? This is the perfect, it's proved to be profitable in the past. The Christian church made billions of dollars off of this one. And I'm going to show you a pedophile who used the same thing. So he could have sex with lots of virgins. Real sicko. Real sick person. Let's move forward. I'll show you some more suicides. Here's one. Girl commits suicide over doomsday predictions. Despite repeated assurances from experts that the Large Hadron Collider would not bring about the end of the world, it appears that one 16-year-old girl in central India decided to commit suicide by drinking pesticide rather than face that remote possibility. Her father noted that several Indian programs aired doomsday predictions in the days leading up to the test run, which left her inconsolable. As tragic as this is, I can't help but wonder why someone would rather go out by drinking pesticide than being painlessly vaporized. Okay, there's another one. But no, these people don't give a flying fuck. Here's another one. Fearful teen commits suicide due to Harold Camping's Judgment Day prediction. A 14-year-old girl from Russia was so scared in the May 21st Doomsday and Rapture prediction made by Harold Camping that she committed suicide the same day. Investigators said Wednesday. The teenager wanted to choose death rather than being among the ones suffering on Earth after the rapture. Do you think anybody that's peddling the poll, you think Sather gives a flying fuck about this? You think he cares? He doesn't care. The only thing they care about is their next disclosure thing, their next disclosure event. More popularity. You think this has anything to do with the spiritual path? No. More popularity, more promoting. These people don't care. They're wolves in sheep's clothing, folks. Here's one. This is around the time of Drumvalo Melchizedek. Same thing. Remembering Elizabeth Taylor. This is from 2012 hoax. On September 24, 2011, at 3:15 p.m., the mother of a teenager named Isabel Taylor found Isabel hanging in her bedroom. Isabel had committed suicide in part over fear and anxiety over the reported doomsday rumors. This is the first well-documented case of suicide that we have seen over the fears of 2012. Now, do you think anybody in the New Age, came out with a public apology? Do you think Drumvalo did? Do you think any of them did? No, they didn't. Of course they didn't. Everybody chooses their reality. This beautiful young girl committed suicide along with the one in India and other places that I've just shown you. This freaks people out. And yet, guess what? The cosmic secret is just fucking exploding. Everybody loves it. Nobody's thinking about unstable people. It's bullshit, folks. Nothing's going to happen. That's not it. I'll show you another one. Here's from Live Science. It has deadly consequences. Harold Camping, we just read this, convinced his followers that the world would end, right? A California woman named Lynn Benedito was one of millions who heard Camping's message and became concerned that her daughters would suffer terribly in the coming apocalypse. Are you sitting down? She allegedly forced her daughters, 11 and 14, to lie in the bed and then cut their throats with a box cutter. She then tried to kill herself, though police arrested Benedetto and all three survived. Now, I said this in the beginning. I am not saying that Laura Eisenhower, Michael Salla, Corey Good, Jordan Sather, or David Wilcock are wishing this upon anybody, nor is it their intention. What I'm saying is these people, it's hard to even call them people, are just they either don't know what they're doing. Well, I think they know exactly what they're doing when it comes to marketing and that this is profitable. But either they haven't, thought of this, or they need to be educated. It'd be surprising to me that no one has thought of this. That's involved in this. No one sat down and said, we're going to put together this movie. We have a big audience around the world, and we've done research on how this kind of stuff affects people. We're running a risk of somebody committing suicide, someone suffering. Round table. They're talking about this, and then someone steps up and says, we're offering Ascension, so this will balance it out. Okay, I wouldn't worry about that. If anybody kills himself, we'll just say, hey, we were offering a way out, so it wasn't entire doom. But again, you don't have to even think very much, folks. To think that Corey Good, David Wilcock, Lori Eisenhower, and the rest of them haven't thought of this is just, it's unconscionable. And yet there they go, promoting their end of the world scenario. She tried to kill herself, though police arrested her. And unfortunately, the 3 survived. Others, not so lucky, an elderly man in Taiwan reportedly killed himself on May 5th ahead of the rapture by jumping out of a building. He had heard that doomsday was imminent and had taken recent earthquakes and tsunamis as early warning signs. But who cares? Who cares? It's just the new age. It's just new age teachings. Then we go over to, these are classic. These are the teachings that Jordan Sather obviously doesn't know because he's, he was, what is he, 5? He thinks this is all new stuff because David Wilcock handed it to him, like new stuff. Sorry, Jordan, you don't know anything, dude. I said, dude, I don't like saying dude. Again, I say this over and over. This stuff is old stuff. 1990s marketing BS. They're just repackaging the damn stuff. Anyway, so this is an interview with Drumvalo where he talks about, the same thing, field reversal, pole shift, Mayans, same thing. Talks about how the world's going to end and zillions of people are going to, but they always package it in a way where it's a transformation. It's a metamorphosis. We're going into the 4th dimension. No, what you are literally saying is you're making a prediction saying that it's going to be carcasses and blood and bodies everywhere. That is what you're saying. Oh, it's just going to be, we're just going to ascend. It's going to be so beautiful, and like they say in Cosmic Secret, this is a wonderful time. We get to, no, it's not. It's not. Do you realize what you're saying, people? Michael Salla, do you realize what you're saying? Nobody would want to be anywhere around what you're claiming is going to happen. There'll be the stench of dead bodies everywhere. This is your little thing that you're sharing with everybody. But you get to get away with it. You know why? Because it ain't going to fucking happen. So that's why you can sit there all comfortable talking about it. Oh, it's a happy day. It's a happy day. Ching, 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 ching. So they cash in on this shit. No, it's not what? Are you 5? It's a happy day. All hell's going to break loose. There's going to be worldwide, billions of people are going to die, and it's going to be a positive, this is a wonderful day. No, you are an utter moron. And not enough people are calling you out on it. Isn't this great? Yeah, you know, then again, the top Fox News, the top 5 most outrageous 2020 doomsday predictions that didn't pan out. The U.S. may warm 6 degrees from 1990 to 2020. Oil will effectively run out by 2020. By 2020, no glaciers will be left on Mount Kilimanjaro. 4 billion people will starve due to missing the tech revolution. 20 millions will die from climate change. Sometimes, you know, sometimes I literally feel like I'm in a romper room class, you know, showing showing, you know, pictures of like a dog. I'm like, dog. People go, dog, right? You erase it and you put, you know, draw a cat. Everybody goes, cat, you know. I was talking to a friend of mine a while back, and I asked him, I go, am I just, what did I say? I said, you know, is it crazy that I'm so baffled? He said, Zen, you're smart. He said, you're intelligent. He said, you don't realize how far you've come. And when you look at everything, you can't believe it. You can't believe people are this stupid. And, you know, and he's right. It's not just me. There's so many of you that feel the same way. You have become intelligent, just roughly, you know, you were more intelligent than you were before. Just because you've evolved. And you look at the situation and it's just like, it literally makes me speechless. Like, I don't know how, sometimes I don't know how to communicate it anymore. And yet these people have hundreds of thousands of followers. And they will argue for this stuff all day long. So you tell me, when I say human monkeys are dumb as rocks, you tell me if I'm wrong or right. Some people don't like I say that. Like that I say that. But they are. Sorry. There's a few that wake up. There's a few that get educated. And maybe I'm saying really more specifically religious-minded and New Age-minded monkeys. And I call them monkeys. Because you got to be stupid as hell to believe this stuff. You know? Following Jordan Sather, are you kidding me? Corey Good and David Wilcock, are you kidding me? What do you want, acid? I mean, you know, they just lied to everybody over and over and over and over and over and over. Like, what do you need? Jordan Sather. All right, we're going to move on to make sure. Oh yeah, and then of course we got QAnon on Exopolitics, which is Salah's website. You know, he's got an article, "The QAnon Deep State Temporal War: Its Galactic Implications," published November 19th. This is recent. Only days after drawing attention to Operation Looking Glass, QAnon just took this reference further in another post by claiming foreknowledge of the deep state plans. Q appears again to be alluding to an advantage the U.S. military intelligence community has over the deep state in terms of advanced technology, enabling them to view the future. I refer to the deep state having similar technology in its possession and the incredible implication that we are witnessing a temporal war between the Q military intelligence community and the deep state. So this is a recent post by Michael Salla on QAnon, promoting something that you could find has been debunked, utterly fake predictions all over the place. You can see it with your own eyeballs. You can see how it's actually listed on the FBI bulletin about conspiracies being connected to terrorism, domestic terrorism, right there. And yet here's Michael Salla, one of the main bozos on the Cosmic Secret, along with the rest of the bozos that are peddling this stuff. Nobody cares. No one cares if this end of the world prophecies causes people to commit suicide, causes distress, anxiety, and in that one case I just showed you, it caused a woman to slit the throats of her children. Well, let's not think about this. Let's not think about the people that are unstable. Let's just promote the end of the fucking world and profit from it. You people are disgusting. You're actually revered. No, you're not revered by this group. You're disgusting. But here, let me just show you a case in point cult. I'm going to show you a video. Some of you have probably seen this. I don't think I've ever done this on this channel. Although real quick, most of us know about Heaven's Gate. It was a UFO cult, right? That it was a mass suicide because they thought the Hale-Bopp comet was going to take them up in the air and they were going to ascend up in Never Never Land. It was a UFO cult. 20 years after their mass suicide, it made headlines across the world. Heaven's Gate is still one of the most notorious cults of the 20th century, not to mention one of the most recognizable. In March 1997, America was shook by the strange story that included mass suicide, while public access style videos, an obsession with UFOs, and in true late 90s fashion, tracksuits and matching Nikes. And like I've told you, all this stuff comes out of Christianity. If you look at the Cosmic Secret, folks, its foundation is the Bible. The cult's philosophy took its roots from Applewhite's Presbyterian upbringing. Guess who, if I got this right, she was one of these, Baptist something, but I'm pretty sure it's Presbyterian. Carla Ruckert, who channeled the raw material, she was Presbyterian. Took its roots from Presbyterian upbringing. His father was a minister and essentially grafted belief, the leader of the cult, his father was a minister and essentially grafted belief in extraterrestrials into Christian theology. That is exactly what the Cosmic Secret is. Applewhite told his accolades that he was the second coming of Christ, God was an alien, and that they were living in the end times. Okay? Now, Corey Good just recently went forth and said that he's I believe he said he's the reincarnation of Enoch or something like that. I forget what, don't quote me, but his name is Enoch. And I think it was alluding to that he's Enoch. But he gets into this whole reincarnation thing, and now he's some special divine being that's here. Story just gets bigger and bigger. They read the Bible, especially Revelation chapter 11. Oh, gee, Cosmic Secret. Guess what they're quoting? The book of Revelations, a section about two witnesses that would prophesy. At the end of their prophecy, they would have to battle demons and apple white nettles called the Luciferians. Gee, who uses the Luciferians? Who talks about the Luciferians? It's the Disclosure Group. Who talks about the Cabal? It's the Disclosure Group. Gee, so far we just started in a group that killed themselves, got everybody to kill themselves, believing in some alien thing, all has the same damn philosophy. And just like I've shown you through this whole video, one after another person committing suicide, trying to kill their children, all because of this packaged meme that's got the end of the world. You know, one of these days, somebody's going to file a fucking lawsuit. The cult borrowed a lot of imagery from science fiction, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I mean, I guess I just got to say, why do religions and cults get away with this stuff? Why are they not held responsible for the stuff they put out there? Well, they could say, well, we're not responsible for what people say. Okay, freedom of speech. All right. It's kind of like the death metal bands. No, I get it. And I'll be honest with you, I do agree with that. But where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line? Death metal bands can talk about all sorts of crazy ass shit. But I'm not too sure. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how many are promoting the end of the world. They promote, a lot of dark shit. But a lot of these bands are talking about some real life stuff at the bottom of the barrel. There's some really great lyrics in some of this stuff. But there's a lot of stuff going on. It's not everybody's responsibility because somebody takes something wrong. It's like video games. We shouldn't stop video games because 3 or 4 people, killed themselves watching video games. So, in a sense, this does apply. But in this case, these are people telling the public that the world's going to end. It's not based in science. They're demonizing science. And they're making false claims about reality and about life. At least like the freaking heavy metal bands, there's a disclaimer. There should be a disclaimer on all of this stuff that these guys produce. I don't recall seeing one on the movie. Maybe there is one. You guys tell me if you watch it. There should be a disclaimer. I got a disclaimer on my the front of this YouTube channel. Zen's opinions may or may not be accurate. Blah, 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 blah. Think for yourself. Why don't they have one? The views of this film may or may not accurately represent reality. Please think for yourself. Please, don't take what we're saying as fact. No, you don't see that. You don't want people to think for themselves. No, because they wouldn't buy your products. They wouldn't come to your disclosure events. They wouldn't subscribe to your channel. They wouldn't believe your dumbass because they actually start thinking for themselves. So let's listen to this cult leader. Now, this is why I say it's all connected. It's the same meme. It's the same meme. Okay, so I'm going to show you this video, this cult leader. Nothing different. Nothing different. Okay? If I can find it. Oh. I'm going to show you a bunch of clips. So this is about Michael Treviser, who is the head of a cult. Let me give you a quick background really quick, and then I'm going to play you a bunch of clips. This guy's a pedophile. All right, so this is the Lord Our Righteousness Church, sometimes called Strong City, is a religious community near Clayton, New Mexico. Its leader, Wayne Curtis Bant, known as Michael Travister, Seventh-day Adventist pastor, left his denomination with others of like mind and has since referred to that church as the Daughters of the Great Harlot, condemned in the book of Revelations, same book that is used in the Cosmic Secret. Basically believes he's the Messiah. Okay? That's just quickie. So we're going to listen to a couple things, okay? Actually, let me start with this one. I'll work my way back. So this is his kids that absolutely love him, whom he's molesting. This guy is all about the end of the world. So that's what the end of the world also does, is it makes people so crazy that they actually allow their kids to have sex with old men, old creepy freaks. And because he used proper mind control techniques, it works. It works. I don't know of one mind control technique where it doesn't involve some sort of impending doom. I might be wrong. But you've got to capture their soul, so to speak. It's like soul rape. It's insidious, folks. It's insidious. Now, if you don't think when these people are demonizing science, that's the world. That's just a repackaged, more vogue version of the same shit. Now, again, I'm not saying that anybody in the disclosure people, none of them, I'm not saying any of them are pedophiles, okay? At all. There's no accusations here. What I'm saying, to be clear, is I'm talking about the meme that's being peddled and how damaging it is. What I'm talking about here is this guy is a pedophile. And the two young girls on each side of him, he was having plenty of sexual contact with. Yeah, because we're heading towards the end of the world and the ascension. Okay, so there's that. We're going to look at a couple of these. Oh, why did I have two of those? Okay. So this is I think this is where this girl admits that part of his job was to impregnate her, if I got this right. Well, this is a different part. Now notice, it is somebody talking to them through the ethers. Gee, where did we hear that again? Who does Corey Good talk to? Fucking invisible freaking birds from outer space. That isn't silly enough. Every one of them are talking to invisible people. Behold the trance. Now, it's always about authority. What are the aliens telling us? What is the Galactic Command telling us? They're telling us, me and Wilcock and Good and the rest of us, so you guys should listen because we are the intermediary. I can't think of that word right now. They're the priests, basically the priests between the people and the invisible aliens that don't fucking exist other than in their imagination. The Catholic Church did this for freaking eons. It's a perfect way to control people. Just tell them that invisible authorities are speaking through you, and dumb monkeys will go, oh, blink, blink, okay. I hate to say it, but they're really gullible. You know, it's gullible, innocent in so many cases, and they become dumbed down. And they're victims, folks. They're victims. They didn't choose this. So many of these people are victims. Truly victims of mind control. Sophisticated mind control repackaged. This whole disclosure thing is nothing more than mind control techniques that can be proved. All you have to do, like I'm telling you right now, just look what they're saying. Basic cookie cutter, same BS. It disarms people so that the wolf in sheep's clothing can come in and take them out. Yeah, Michael makes it up as he goes along. Exactly. Here's another one. Hey, what happened to... Oh, maybe it's here. Oh, man, I don't know what I did. Yeah, so Jeff has been allowing his wife to have sex with a leader. So Michael is the victim of God. I'm just curious. I'm wondering if the Blue Avians or any of the other Galactic Command gave the leaders of this movement a command. Here's why I don't think anything like that would happen. Because I think really these people just know it's about the money. That's what I think. You make up your own mind. I don't think that they're really controlled by these aliens like these people. These people are true cult members. I think the disclosure community, I think for the most part, they're just dumb as rocks. But I think that there's a number of them that know exactly what they're doing, and this is a perfect business model. My opinion. Take a look at it for yourself. Hey, Robert the dude says he doesn't hear anything from this video. Is that the case with everybody? I hate to think that that's been going on. Can you guys let me know if you can hear this okay? Okay. Thanks, Rob Stubb. It looks like you're new. Welcome. Now, this is what I think happened. I think the guy raped her. I'm telling you, I would put my freaking house, I don't own a house, but I'd bet my house on this one. That in a moment of passion, he raped her. And the answer was that God forced him. Do you see how sick these people are? Do you see it? This guy is one of those, he's no different than some freaking alcoholic bum sitting on his freaking in his chair, in his lounge chair, sucking down booze, pedophile sicko. The only difference between that guy and this guy is this guy is a little more cunning. A lot more cunning. He just figured out a way to lie to himself and lie to other people and package the whole thing so that he's doing this for the love of God. That's all. He's just a sick fucking pedophile and a rapist. And he figured out how to have, I'll show you more of this, how to have he had 7 young virgins, young girls underage. I'm going to show you that one in a minute. So here he is showing cunning, deceptive, manipulative man, pedophile, packaged this thing in such a way that he fooled people. And this is, like I say, this is how stupid people are. They didn't figure this out. That he's showing he's repackaged a rape. Watch this. Grown. Wow. No sound in the vid for Ricardo? Oh man, what the hell is going on here? Folks, have you not been able to hear everything like since this whole thing started? Have you not been able to hear any of these streams? Please let me know, because I've played a number of videos. Have you not been able to hear any of them? Or it's just this one? Right. Hey, Piskin. Piskin-esque. So are you guys saying that you have not been able to hear any of the audio on any of the videos I've shown you today? So you're saying, okay, let me clarify this. I've played other videos, the Jordan video in the beginning and all that. Did you guys hear those videos? Or is it just this one that you haven't heard? Okay, so not after the Jordan part. Okay, thank you. Only on this one. Now let me ask you if you hear it now. Do you hear that? Okay, thank you. All right, do you guys hear this now? What the heck is going on with this? Well, that sucks. All right, well, let me try this, folks. Let me go back to Jordan again. Because if this is the case, I got to contact StreamYard and find out why all of a sudden. All right, let's go back to this. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
One note on what Yahoo News published about this, and this was actually written in the document itself, but check this out. Quick note on the Yahoo document. They actually published.
Can't hear that either. Okay. All right, well, I'll have to contact StreamYard and find out. Fucking technology. I don't know why it would all of a sudden not work. Oh, you do. Oh, you do hear Jordan Sather. But you don't hear this. All right, do you guys hear that? You can hear now. What the hell is this about? Oh, Inspector says no. All right. I'll send it to StreamYard and find out why. I don't know. You know what? Let me try something else. Because this really brings my point home, folks, about I'm talking about the meme. The meme is poison. It's pure freaking poison. It's like, did they do something to the video to make it unable to, you know what I mean? Let's try this.
Grown. Earlier that morning.
I didn't come here to make them leave or try to get.
Day Messiah is.
God told the girls to come to him. Well, it was God. God came down on them and told them to do it. Nakedness. God told.
Can you guys hear that? Can you guys hear the thing I just played for you?
Girls to come to him.
You heard that? Isn't that odd? That one video doesn't work.
What God tells you.
That is the oddest thing. Well, let me see if I can find it because I really want to play.
And I sat down in my chair.
I just want to play one part for you about the virgins. Anyway, so as you just saw, what he did is he made up this whole thing how God forced him to impregnate a man's wife, and he played the whole thing out.
Fifth, God told the girls to come to him.
God came down on Michael and forced him to consummate with Christiana. I mean, it was a...
All right, so we saw that one. Well, let me just show you. Let me show you the. So this, just once again, this right here, you cannot hear. This right here, you can't hear. Correct? You guys can't hear this, or yes? Okay. That is so freaking bizarre. All right. Well, I should just leave it.
Fifth, God told the...
All right. Well, I think I made my point. That's the weirdest thing why that one video will not play. Anyway, make a long story short, you know, he said that God commanded him and he obeys God no matter what. And God told him to, you know, that he said in this one part, God, I really want to show it to you. He said that he is more of a medical doctor than actual medical doctors. Gee, where have we heard that before? Every one of these guys, I don't know of one in the new age baloney that doesn't spout that they seem that science doesn't know what they're talking, and they think they're an authority when the very person that's saying that is putting themselves up as an authority, right? This guy said doctors, the guy asked him, well, don't you think it's abnormal to be sleeping in the same bed naked with 7 virgins, underage virgins? He says, well, doctors take care of naked women. He goes, in fact, they even insert their fingers into orifices. And the guy says, well, are you a medical doctor? He says, no, but I am way more qualified than medical doctors. Same meme. Maybe that's what I really want to get across here today. The same meme, the same structure is being used today, repackaged, same poison. You know what I mean? It's just laced. It's just it's like ethanol and alcohol. You know what I mean? You know, ethanol is not good for you. But I'm not saying, you know, I mean, people drink and they don't die drinking. And you know, I'm not talking about people shouldn't drink. If you want to drink, it's fine. But my point being is that it's laced in different packages. You've got it in beer, you've got it in wine, you've got it in all these mixed drinks with all the goodies on top of them, the umbrellas, all of this stuff. You got it in tomato juice. I mean, there's all of these flavors. Disclosure is no different. The Above Majestic movie is no different. The Cosmic Secret is no different. It's the same poison packaged with different liquids, different, olives and umbrellas and all this, the same stuff. Same stuff. So that, I think, concludes, and we're at about 2 hours, and I think I ran through everything. Yeah, I've run through QAnon, I've run through suicides, I've run through, going back to this whole video. I mean, maybe we'll just do a recap. Let's do a recap. This is what we started with. Okay.
The CIA document, Adam and Eve, we're going to break it down with Corey Goode along with Dr. Michael Salla, including Jordan Sather from Destroying the Illusion. It's happened in the past and it will happen again. Corey Goode's going to tell us about the secret space program along with Dr. Michael Salla's insight, including Jordan Sather from Destroying the
You think that guy gives a shit?
Illusion. It's happened in the past and it will happen again. Corey Goode's going to tell us about the secret
Do you think this guy gives a shit?
space program along with Dr. Michael Salla's insight. Is there
Think that guy gives a shit?
that we need to be told? Enjoy this new investigation right now.
Oh yeah, that's right. Everybody, yeah, they're connected to real, intel. No, they're sitting in their house drinking some freaking beers, planning their next disclosure and cashing in.
A CIA document was released not too long ago. It's called the Adam and Eve document. And
Again, I just wanted to show this part again. That's all. Notice he's sitting in a church, which is the subliminal suggestion of Armageddon.
And in that document, it discusses that.
Then we bounce over. Then we bounce over to Sather.
Recent CIA release of this polar shift investigation.
Right. So my understanding of that is simply what I've seen through Ben Davidson of Suspicious Observers, and it essentially looks like it's a book that was classified by the CIA and details the polar shift, the not just geomagnetic but literal geophysical polar shift. So not only do we have the electromagnetic poles of our Earth ready to shift, but we also have,
By the way, you guys want to just real quick see the Adam and Eve article, the Adam and Eve thing? There it is. There it is on Amazon. It's $17,000. It's got 35 ratings. Chan Thomas, and it's such a secret that you can get it on Amazon.
that could mean also an Earth tilt. And I believe Ben Davidson was detailing how that tilt could go 90 degrees and then back, which is very intriguing. And the reason, of course,
I know it's got 35 reviews. I mean, gosh, out of 7 billion people, scientists are, they're like, Amazon, come on, you got to get more copies of this stuff. Actually, you can get it online for free. You can get it as a PDF for free.
CIA classified it is that is a massive red pill, basically, that if the people knew about it, well, that would confirm a whole lot of stuff from ancient history.
So there we go. Now he starts getting into exclusivity. We have the truth and people don't have the truth. Again, textbook mind control.
Scripture and text that they were trying to tell us. They don't want that stuff legitimized.
Exclusivity. They and we. Textbook mind control all the way through this shit.
And they also, of course, don't want people to really understand what's going on with our sun and the electric universe model. They want to
remember the pedophile guy I just showed you. If you didn't hear it, I didn't know no one could hear it. But the guy asked him when he was sitting there with the 2 underage girls that he was having sex with, asked him, he says about the world. He asked him about the world, And the guy went on this whole thing about the world and how it's like, you eat and you sleep and you go to movies and you do this, and it's just the world. That's what it is. Same meme repackaged.
Prop up their standard model physics that is tons of misinformation mixed in.
Their standard model physics, which has got tons of disinformation coming from this guy. This guy. Yeah, Jordan knows. This and they and we. He's 5 years old, read a book and worked at, he worked at Whole Foods 2 days ago. All right, I think I've reached my 2-hour point. Now we will take questions and comments from those of you who feel inspired to share your thoughts. Road Stub says, let's ask Dave Wilcock to have the Blue Asians probe him. Do voiceovers for the video. By that, for those of you who want to join the Facebook group, just go to my website, unspirituality.com, and you can join the Facebook group if you want to be a part of it. You're also welcome to donate on the website as well if you wish to support my work. Hey, Philip Blair, glad you showed up. Phil Blair says, seems like people do the nastiest things and then claim God made them do it rather than doing something nice or helpful. Maybe they were listening to a potato with the face of a lion. Yeah, I mean, the sheep's and wolves in sheep's clothing manipulate human beings. And it's just cunning. They lie to themselves and lie to others so they're basic, can get what they want and get what they, it's how it's used. But it's always primate stuff. It's always primate stuff. And look, when I say primate stuff, I'm not, my book has all been about creating pride in being a human primate. Okay. What I'm saying is when human primates are infected with this stuff, it pulls out, it causes them to do crazy ass shit. Okay. And human primates are predators. But generally, human beings are like, I don't know, Labrador dogs, I mean, they're we're generally friendly with each other. We care, but we also are territorial, just like any dog, any mammal would be. And they'll chop your head off if you mess with their family. You know what I mean? Or their best friends. Basic. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with hunting. Nothing wrong with being a predator. But this stuff makes people do really crazy ass things. People need to stop hunting animals, start hunting pedophiles, put them all in a forest, enter games as they run for their lives. Third phase are just as guilty, right? It makes sense Jordan Sather worked at a health product store because whenever I see him, I feel like I need to go wash my hands. He makes me feel unclean. I must buy more soap. Yeah, it's just kind of creepy when you really look into this stuff. Yeah, proud to be primate, proud to be a human animal. That's my message from day one. Permission to be human. So look up Wayne Madsen NSAQ video. I'll look at it later. Okay. Well, we're going to call it a day. If nobody has anything else to say or comment on or question, I'm going to move on to the next part of my day. I will just wait a little bit. Part of my day. Chris Murphy says, I wouldn't mind so much, but Good and company are dangerous individuals. What they're spreading is dangerous. The cult they've created is dangerous. Exactly. And if I haven't made the case for that today, I don't know what will make the case for that. Seriously. Philip Blair says, Zen, do you speak Spanish? If you do, look up Uparts or co-written Chris Abeck. It's a detailed study debunking the wackier claims of the ancient aliens. Good. Yeah, I don't speak Spanish, though. But Ancient Aliens Debunked is, you know, it's something I recommend everybody to see. Just type in Ancient Aliens. Is it Ancient Aliens Debunked? Yeah, it's Ancient Aliens Debunked. Ancient Aliens Debunked. Yeah. Yeah, it's excellent, excellent video. Just exposes, you know, I should just do, I was going to do something like that. I was going to do this at one point on Ancient Aliens, and maybe I'll do that again. I'll do that again. I think I started doing it, and then I got in some conversation with somebody that was going back and forth with me about this, that, and the other, and you need to check out this and check out that, and I never even got through the video. So I think that's what happened. That's why I didn't do it. So okay, so there you go, folks. Thank you for being here. I hope this was useful video. And I've got, actually, my books have been published with the new editions of my books have been published. I now have both books, including The Imaginarians, my children's book, on Amazon. So it's got both of these have a new cover, and I've done a few edits on the inside. One day I'm going to do an edition where there's more content in it, you know, as the books grow. But you can get these on Amazon. Just go to unspirituality.com, click on shop, and you can see the new books. They come in both Kindle and paperback, and I have made sure that all of them have worldwide distribution. So you should have access to them anywhere in the world now. I don't know if I had that before. So feel free to check it out, read the books, you know, and learn if you wish. And so that's it. That's the update. Thank you guys for being here, and we'll see you on the next video.